Well, um, I honestly wasn't expecting to make this video, and if I'm being really honest, I didn't want to, but given where we are, I sort of feel like I have to, because it's just something that tells me that I really need to just get out what I really need to say. So, yeah, hello everybody, it's me, Sammy, otherwise known as Skullgrim Faro, and I have a heavy heart, because, Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime from Transformers, has passed away. And this is a day that I really wasn't looking forward to in my lifetime, and I don't think anybody else was either. And just trying to find the right words to say how I feel about this is proving to be a bit difficult and also really impossible, because I'm still having a hard time trying to believe it. I really am. And okay, so for anyone who's new to the channel, anyone who's been following me this long, you'll know by now that I am a huge Transformers fan, and most of my channel has been centered around doing stuff related to Transformers. And one of those has always been talking about my love for the franchise and everything else, and getting to meet people through it and what have you. And as this year has kind of gone as bizarre as it has, and this week has gone as bizarre as it has, it feels just really soul-crushing to sort of end it on a very weird note, because, I mean, a lot has happened this week, and without going too much into it, I mean, we lost Dolly Parton and we lost Tim Curry, and now, out of nowhere and really unexpectedly, we just lost Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, and I can't really understate or even summarize who Peter Cullen is without pouring into his entire Wikipedia page, and that would take too long. So, for anyone who knows who Peter Cullen was, or what he did, or anything like that, aside from the voice of Optimus Prime in Transformers, he was the voice of Eeyore in Disney's Winnie the Pooh. He was the voice of Venger in Dungeons and Dragons. He was the voice of Car in Knight Rider. He was so many different voices. And as Optimus Prime, he played the role again in the live-action movies. And he played the roles again in the video games. And he played the role again in Transformers Prime and Robots in Disguise 2015. So, and again in Bumblebee, and ending it off with Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And it just feels so weird to make this video and to try and give you a clear definition of what he meant to me, because I mean, it seems weird for me to say all this because I never met him, and the funny thing, well, the sad thing was I was going to meet him at the beginning of the decade when TF Nation 2020, I believe, announced that he was going to be a guest at that convention, but then unfortunately, COVID happened, and we never really got to experience that convention. I never got to see him in person, and I'm gutted about that, because Peter Cullen's convention appearances have always been, you know, many stories for different people, and I'm just heartbroken about it, because at first I thought it was just some kind of cruel prank that someone was playing, that somebody just made in regards to this. And I had to just check really carefully to see it was legitimate, and I had a hard time trying to believe it. And when I looked into it more closely, I just had to bite down and accept the fact that, oh, he's gone. And and it just feels, it feels weird to think about, it feels uncomfortable to think about, and it just feels so difficult to really process, because Peter Cullen represents a large majority of what this franchise is and what this franchise has grown into and what it's become. And, you know, Optimus Prime has become one of those characters in pop culture media that really identifies with what we look at when we look towards a hero and a leader, and what we aspire to be and what we want to be, and who we look to whenever things turn bad. And so hearing that voice and hearing Peter Cullen just really give such incredible voice, give such an incredibly commanding presence to that character of Optimus Prime, it's just really, it's difficult to really understand and even describe how the loss of someone like that is to a franchise like Transformers. Because Peter Cullen's passing is sort of like what I can only describe as a burning fire that has been going for 40 years. Because because that's the length this franchise has been going on now for. Just been going on for 40 years, and you can't see it, but you can sort of feel that fire just slowly going out, and then going out, and just flickering a little bit. And then, as that flickering just gradually stops, a lot of the weight of what that franchise represents goes with it. And it just feels really difficult to deal with this. And this is going to feel very difficult to deal with for a while, because I knew and I felt deep down in the back of my head that it was going to happen at some point in my life, that in my lifetime he wouldn't be here. And now that it's happened, and I just don't know how to feel about it. And everyone's going to write their different eulogies and different pieces regarding Peter Cullen's passing, and it's going to feel a lot more difficult to hear. So I am just one voice in a whole slew of many, because you would have to be there from day one to have ever really watched the original the original G1 cartoon and see that all the way through to the 86 movie, and then see Optimus Prime die in that movie, and then come back again, and then as the franchise would go in and out of different changes, in comes the live action movie when the franchise really hits hard with something different, and that's when you feel, oh, the voice of your childhood is back, and the voice of many other childhoods is back as well, because keeping in mind, it's the '07 movie that really helped bring the franchise out into new areas, into new territories, and trying new things that really added another brick to the foundation that this franchise is built upon. So just to feel that he's not here hurts a lot, because celebrity deaths are a very weird thing, because when you watch a movie, or when you play a game, or when you watch a television show or anything like that, and when a favorite celebrity of yours has passed on, you really don't know how to feel about it, and you just sort of go on about your day like it's no big deal. But I don't know. With Peter Cullen, it just feels so different, and it feels weird to really think about, because I never imagined that it would ever happen this soon. I know it sounds weird to say that, but it just, to feel that a part of your life like that has just gone, it's weird to put into words, and it's weird to describe how you feel in regards to that passing, because it feels like with Peter Cullen passing, it's almost as if the book on a particular part of your childhood has closed with it. And when a person of that positive influence leaves an enormous legacy behind, but leaves something that you can't get back, that's an even harder feeling to really digest. So, I don't know, it's, this one's going to sit with me for a while, because Peter Cullen meant a lot to so many, and it's sad because I never met him, but I always think back to when he would always bring up his brother Larry, and he would always bring up that famous the famous line of his, Peter, if you're going to be a real hero, if you're going to be a hero, be a real hero. Don't be a typical Hollywood hero barking orders and everything else like that. And the one quotation which I think everyone knows now, which is, be strong enough to be gentle. And in a lot of ways, that's who this character was. Optimus Prime represented gentle leadership, but he was also a force to be reckoned with. He represented icon status. He represented heroism. He represented positivity. He represented a good role model. He represented something that we have a hard time trying to connect to, because people have a different way of latching onto heroes and idols, and those heroes and idols tend to not stay true to who they are. But for a voice actor like Peter Cullen to be attached to a character like this, and for that character to remain as important as he has, just gives you an idea of when people say don't meet your heroes, you should meet your heroes and you should tell them how much they mean to you, because Peter Cullen really did mean something to everybody. And it just hurts him not being here, and him passing away hurts even more, because, without repeating myself, it just feels like something is gone. It feels like a part of your life that was so important to you has now just broken and crumbled away. And you don't know how to feel about that, because it's that feeling of everyone is mortal. Everyone is mortal, and when someone passes away, that leaves a hole that you really can't fill. And when someone passes away that you've never met, if you've only known them through a cartoon or a video game or whatever, that impact that they've left behind really sticks with you, because it really shows just how important these things are to the people that actually enjoy them. So, without going too much into it, I suppose the one thing that I think is worth mentioning in regards to Peter Cullen and his involvement as Optimus Prime is, rather than say goodbye, because I think everybody else is really looking to say that, what I'm going to say is thank you. Thank you, because the voice of a character, he was more, Peter Cullen's voice as Optimus Prime was more than just a character. He meant something to so many people that grew up in the 80s. He meant so much to people that grew up watching the live-action movies. He meant to so many people that grew up playing the video games. He meant so much to watching people. He meant so much to people watching the cartoons like RD 2015 or Rescue Bots or anything like that. So, thank you, Peter Cullen, for everything that you've done. Thank you for the impact that you've left behind, and thank you for just showing us what a real hero is by bringing life into a hero that has become part of a franchise that we honestly never imagined would last as long as it has. And with that being said,
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Exactly. So, yeah, so thank you, Peter Cullen, and thank you for bringing the character of Optimus Prime to life. Thank you for giving us a positive role model, and thank you for just being there when we were always at our lowest points in our lives, and just lifting us out of the bad moods we were in and giving us something to believe in and something to aspire to. And the one thing that I think also stands true to what Peter Cullen said as Optimus Prime is, hold on to your dreams. The future is built on dreams. So, yeah, I really don't know what else to say except, thank you. Thank you, Peter Cullen. Thank you. And goodbye.